Today we'll be talking about the relationship story. Now, in the first two videos, you've already started to identify what the main goals are for your relationship, what you're aiming at and what you're wanting to achieve in your own relationship, how you're wanting to communicate, understand one another better, and how you're wanting to be close, connected, and intimate once again. You've also identified some of the qualities and characteristics that are perhaps missing in your relationship that you really have started to develop, such as respect, incorporating friendship, listening to one another. Now, these are the qualities that so many couples all around the world, successful, happy, and satisfied ones, already have in their own relationship. And you've already begun to start developing them in your own relationship. Now, every couple has a story. Just think about it. The first time that you met your partner, remember what it felt like? Remembering those moments that drew you to your partner? Those exciting memories that really just warm your heart when you think about them? Those times that you grew and evolved as a couple? Or even those milestone moments that were challenging that you overcame together that really make you realize that you work really well as a team. And then there are those moments where somehow, whether stressed or dealing with life challenges and not being able to be there for one another, it drew you apart, made you have a negative communication pattern that you got stuck in, leaving you feeling lonely, sad, confused, and frustrated. And then there's moments like today that are filled with hope and possibility. The opportunity that your relationship can not only be as good as it was at the beginning, but even better than you ever thought imaginable. So what is a negative communication cycle? A negative communication cycle are those verbal or nonverbal patterns of communication that create distance, disconnection, conflict, and tension in your relationship. They may look like criticism, being demanding, yelling and screaming, or they may look like avoidance, ignoring, shutdown, and distance. These verbal and nonverbal communication patterns can ultimately lead to more separation and distance, whether we're even consciously aware of it or not. And like so many couples that I've worked with that have been in their own negative communication cycle, I've helped them get unstuck. And I'd like to help you get unstuck too. So thinking about those negative patterns that so many couples get stuck in, for example, being critical or demanding, yelling and screaming. Perhaps also those patterns of ignoring or shutting down or creating distance. And these patterns are what create conflict and problems. And we don't even realize how those verbal and nonverbal cues are actually negatively impacting the relationship. So the challenge for you today is to identify what are those negative communication patterns that you either consciously or unconsciously are communicating to your partner. And also identifying the negative communication patterns of your partner. And then I'd like you to start shifting those patterns of behavior. So for example, if you're very critical to try to get your partner to engage or give you more love and attention, I'd like you to start communicating words of appreciation, affirmation, and gratitude to start shifting the energy in your relationship. If you tend to move away or disconnect from your partner, I'd like you to communicate to your partner, hey, I need 5 minutes, but I'll come back. And then you follow through and you come back and engage with your partner once again. So these are some tips for you, and I'd love to hear what you have to say and how the challenge goes. Stay tuned for the next challenge. The next challenge is focused on building self-confidence, trust, and managing stress more effectively in your relationship, which can definitely help us to break out of the negative communication cycle moving forward. Stay tuned.